I'm going to address a common question that I get from clients about scaling. And when we're running campaigns for clients and we've been able to hit very achievable cost per acquisition goals consistently, the next big question is, well, if I give you more budget, are you still able to hit the same cost per lead or cost per acquisition goal? Are we able to increase our budget while maintaining the same cost per acquisition or cost per lead? And there's a couple ways to go about doing the analysis to determine this. In this video, I'm going to show you three main metrics that you need to look at to then go about determining, is there headroom to spend more in Google Ads, and can you still do it while maintaining the same budget? The first thing that I want you to look at is your columns, then go to modify columns, go to all columns, competitive metrics, and mark all of these three main KPIs or metrics that we want to look at. Search impression share loss to rank, search impression share loss to budget. Click apply because these are not default KPIs that are set within Google. We're going to look at these three metrics that are coming in. Open it up to a time frame that's reasonable for you, a time frame that you've been running your campaigns, probably more than 7 days. But in this case, I opened this up to, I'm going to just make sure that we have that to all time, just so that I can see, because this is a short flight campaign that was running. Search impression share is the amount of times that we appeared in the Google search results out of all of the amount of times that we were eligible to appear. And basically with this number being 37%, 38%, that means that we were able to appear 3 to 4 times out of 10 potential times that someone was searching for our keywords or services. So basically, we have more room to spend. If you're at a 90% impression share, that means you don't have that much room to spend to capture that extra 10%. But here, because we're at a 37, close to 40% impression share, we've still got about 60% impression share that we could be capturing. Now, that's a good thing. We have more impression share that we could be capturing, about 60% here. But how do we go about capturing more? Well, there's two other metrics here that we're looking at. One has to do with budget and the other has to do with rank. So how do we capture more impression share? We could increase the budget on our ad campaign, or we can improve our ad rank so that we can capture more searches and win more auctions that way. Well, let's focus on search impression share loss to budget. What exactly is that? That basically shows us how often our ads didn't show on the Google search sites due to a low budget. If you have search lost impression share above a 1%, you've got room to potentially spend more budget because your budget is capping out. So basically what this says is I'm losing out to about 43% of potential impressions because my budget's too low. So if I wanted to capture more budget or more impressions, then I would need to increase my budget. And this typically, by doing this, you're going to see similar cost per acquisition numbers. Typically, when I increase the budget, when there is room here, I don't see the cost per lead or cost per acquisition jump that high. It's going to stay around the same range because really all it comes down to is just increasing your ad budget to capture more of this lost impressions. The other metric that I want you to look at, and this is where things might get a little bit tricky and might have a stronger impact on your cost per acquisition or cost per lead goal, is your search impression share loss to rank. This estimates how often your ads didn't show on Google search sites due to poor ad rank. So for this, the higher the number, the worse you're at, meaning that if you have a high number, probably even above a 20%, you've got room to improve your ad rank in order to capture more potential searches. Here is not too bad, meaning that I could try to improve my ad rank, and we'll talk about how to improve your ad rank in a little bit. But if it's above a 20% on your search impression share loss to rank, you're definitely going to want to look at how you can improve your ad rank. How do you improve your ad rank? Well, it comes down to a couple things. Number one is potentially looking into your quality score and looking in how you can improve your quality score. How do you improve your landing page experience? How do you improve your expected click-through rate? And how do you improve your ad relevancy? Those are key metrics that I talk about in detail in my quality score video. I'll drop it in the comments or in the description below for you to check out how you can improve your quality score. But if you improve your quality score, then this number should go down. That means you're not losing out on as many. And then therefore, you should be able to capture more impressions that would ultimately lead to more clicks and hopefully more conversions. So look into that. Another way to look into increasing your ad rank is simply looking into the bid strategy that you have set up. Do you have any bid limits? Do you have any specific target cost per acquisition settings that's limiting you? And do you need to loosen that up in order to capture more? Because if I have a very aggressive target cost per acquisition goal set on my campaign and Google's not able to achieve it because the bids are, it's not able to bid high enough because of my target cost per acquisition goal, then what's going to happen is it's going to cap me out and I'm going to be losing out on impressions because of my cost per acquisition goal hindering me. So if you potentially open up your cost per acquisition goal, then Google will have more freedom to bid higher. And then also by loosening up your bid limits, if you have any, you will allow Google to be loose, to bid higher, and therefore should be able to then capture more impression share. So in summary here, your lost impression share due to rank and lost impression share due to budget, the higher the number for the lost impression share due to rank and budget, that's not necessarily a good thing. You want to try to improve your cost per search loss impression share due to rank by decreasing this number, because this is the amount of times that we lost out due to ad rank, and that here we want to make sure that we can get this as close to zero as possible by increasing our ad budget. And by doing this, we shouldn't see too much of a strong impact on our target CPA. On this one, with our search impression share loss to rank, if we do make these changes to target cost per acquisition, you're probably going to see an increase on your target cost per lead, target cost per acquisition. That's just the nature of the way that things work with Google Ads. I'm not able to give you a direct answer in saying, like, are you going to be able to keep your cost per lead the exact same? There's going to eventually come a point where you're going to hit a point of diminishing returns with Google. So it's really about testing and learning to see what's going to work and what's not. So I would just try out by monitoring your target CPA after you make these tweaks. If you've increased your budget and you brought this down to zero and you've been able to maintain your cost per acquisition goal, look at what you can do with your search impression share loss to rank. If you want to test increasing your target CPA, you can, but probably shift it by 10 to 20% increases, no more than that. And then also look into focusing on, quality score improvements and see where that takes you. So to answer the question directly, if you can capture more while maintaining the same budget, it's not going to be the same for everyone. But typically, if we see that there's room within the search impression share loss to budget, then I'm going to try to increase it on the budget end, and then see how that affects my CPA. Usually, I don't see it affect it much. And then I'll look at the search impression share loss to rank and see how I can improve that as well. But that will definitely have an impact on my target cost per acquisition or cost per lead. So yeah, if you had any questions on this, search impression share loss to budget, search impression share loss to rank, let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. I post videos about Google Ads every week, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thank you.